incoming leader of the free world. He's going to ring the bell here in about 20 seconds, an historic moment at the New York Stock Exchange as we get this opening bell rung by the president-elect, Donald Trump.
The sound of bells ringing signifies liberty and freedom, like our very own Liberty Bell. And as we're going to find out, that sound of liberty and freedom is just the beginning. President-elect Trump is envisioning the rise of new freedom cities all across our nation, and I'm going to show you how the design and engineering of those cities are part of the awakening of a new and flourishing civilization. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to celebrate that dawning of a new golden age that you made possible on November the 5th. So if you want to stay informed on the latest happenings in the rise of a new conservative age, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we dive in here, gang, each one of us, all of us, have an opportunity to finally stop big tech and government overreach. Patriots are, as we speak, reclaiming our privacy. And you've no better way of protecting yourself than with SLNT. That's short for silent. Silent's Faraday products block all incoming and outgoing signals so no one can get their hands on your information. From key FOBs to phones and laptops, simply place your device inside, close the sleeve, and that's it. You're off the grid and safeguarded from unauthorized access. Go silent today by clicking on that link below or going to slnt.com/Turley to save 15% off plus free shipping on all qualified orders. Stay ahead of what's coming and secure your privacy today. Again, that's slnt.com/Turley for 15% off and free shipping on all qualified orders. slnt.com/Turley.
But today, our country has lost its boldness. Under my leadership, we will get it back in a very big way. Our objective will be a quantum leap in the American standard of living. That's what will happen. Here are just a few of the ways we can do it. Almost 1/3 of the land mass of the United States is owned by the federal government, with just a very, very small portion of that land, just a fraction, 1/2 of 1%. Would you believe that? We should hold a contest to charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development. In other words, we'll actually build new cities in our country again. These freedom cities will reopen the frontier, reignite American imagination, and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, all hardworking families, a new shot at home ownership and, in fact, the American dream.
The boldness of President Trump's vision for a new American golden age appears to know no limits. Freedom cities, 10 of them, are officially on the horizon. This after decades of urban decay and disillusion that's infected our nation's cosmopolitan centers. For example, Baltimore, once one of the 10th most populous cities in the country, has seen its population drop by over 300% since 1980. Baltimore was once a city of well over 1 million residents. It's now dropped to just barely 500,000. It's a staggering decline in demise. And of course, it's not just Baltimore. Detroit has lost half. You heard that right? Half of its residential population since the 1950s, having been decimated by the decline in manufacturing and a surging crime rate. In fact, many actually call our urban national decline the Detroitification of our cities. Well, that is now coming to an end. President-elect Trump has envisioned the rise of what he's calling freedom cities to overcome once and for all the societal stagnation and degeneration of our Democrat-dominated urban landscape. And the significance of this vision, it simply can't be overestimated. And that's because cities are the heart of civilization. cities, the renewal of cities, are at the heart of the renewal of civilization. That's where we get the term civilization from. It's rooted in the Latin civitas, from which we derive the word city or civics. Cities are crucial to civilization precisely because they act as hubs for trade, commerce, innovation. They're the sites of cultural institutions like museums and music halls and monuments. They drive the development of complex societies, technological advancements, essentially acting as the central engine of civilization. Simply put, without cities, the scale and dynamism of human interaction necessary for civilizational flourishing would be severely limited. In fact, we've been seeing those limitations and hindrances and restraints play out in real time in our own nation as a direct result of the degeneration of our nation's cities under the custodial monopolization of the Democrat Party, which is itself, as we are seeing, experiencing its own political demise. Now, what Trump is envisioning here is something akin to what we've been seeing of late in the design and engineering of some of the latest modern cities around the world. Take, for example, Dubai. Development began there in the early 2000s, and the city quickly emerged as a mix of dazzling modern architecture, extravagant shopping experiences, and rich cultural diversity. The city is home to extraordinary iconic landmarks like the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, as well as the ultra-luxurious hotel, the Burj Al Arab. Another stunning modern city is Shenzhen in China. Now, Shenzhen is what's known as the Miracle City, by virtue of how rapidly it transformed from a small fishing village to a major global tech hub, largely due to its status as China's first special economic zone, fostering a culture of innovation, entrepreneurship, and rapid development, all while being geographically very close in proximity to Hong Kong. But these cities are frankly just the beginning. Given his close relationship with Elon Musk and the rising new tech right that are taking over Silicon Valley, Trump's vision of these new freedom cities promises to be the most technologically advanced and civilizationally flourishing on the planet. And as the City Journal recently reported, Trump is promising to unleash a technological revolution through these cities, including new drone technology, the development of vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, to energy production, self-driving cars, biotechnology. I mean, it's amazing stuff. Now, this all comes at a much-needed time, as Americans have been less mobile, less entrepreneurial, largely due to punitive taxation, stifling regulative overreach. Freedom cities would create new opportunities, reinvigorate building in the real world again, and inspire the American imagination. And again, the key here is that this is an idea whose time has officially come. There are, as we speak, innumerable entrepreneurs ready to invest in dozens of new Manhattans and future Dubais. You may have heard of the Praxis Project, which is preparing to revolutionize city building, particularly around the world of AI and crypto. The proposed city would comprise of decentralized technologies, which would attract organizations and developers who specialize in Bitcoin, and blockchain, and AI, which aims to build a cosmopolitan center in which these technologies can thrive and flourish. And the tech investor and futurist Balaji Srinivasan is even going so far as envisioning the rise of what he calls network states and crypto civilizations, where literally entire nations can be founded and engineered based on worldwide collaborative efforts networked through the internet. I mean, this will just give you the sense of the incredibly visionary time we're in. And we can't overlook the role of what's called techno-populism in all of this. We've talked about this before on this channel. The key with techno-populism is its independence dynamic. I'll say that again. The key with techno-populism is its independence dynamic, in that technological advances are empowering more and more citizens to take into their own hands what they used to rely on old modern industrial structures and bureaucracies to do for them. So we often talk about how the internet has given us It's given rise to this whole new media landscape that is fast replacing the old, outdated legacy media. And that's because the internet has democratized information, right? It's decentralized information away from the historic monopolization of information by the legacy media outlets. And it's dispersed that information in such a way that throughout by virtue of our shared hyperconnectivity, we now all have the same immediate access to information as anyone at CNN or the New York Times does. So in effect, we don't need these old legacy institutions to mediate information to us anymore, precisely because they had a privileged position to that and privileged access to that information. We now have that information immediately accessed by ourselves. So we don't need the old legacy media outlets anymore. Or take Bitcoin and crypto. The blockchain technology they're based on has effectively emancipated money from the state. So that separation means that we're no longer dependent on a government for a viable and flourishing currency. You see, this is techno-populism. Technology is liberating more and more populations from the old, outdated, modernist industrial structures and bureaucracies that we used to rely on. And so it's no coincidence now that we're seeing bold and visionary proposals like freedom cities for the future. A future that's going to be, according to Trump and Elon, absolutely amazing.